In this video, we're going to look at how to analyse a magazine cover. We're going to look at a number of covers, talk through your question, and work out where to begin. First of all, let's have a look at your question. Analyse the cover pages of two popular magazines. How do the covers appeal to their audiences? The key words here are appeal and audiences. So, let's see how this relates to your mark scheme. We won't start at the bottom, nobody's working down there. Here we are, up to level 6. Candidates produce convincing and effective analyses of media texts and explanation of their pre-production work. Let's not worry about the pre-production work just yet. That comes in the next section of your coursework. Right now, we're interested in your analysis. Convincing and effective. You have to be able to convince the examiner that you really know what you're talking about. You do this using the next assessment objective, media terminology, and at this level it's used extensively and effectively. That means that you're using all of the words of media studies, psychographic, demographic, audience needs, audience uses and gratifications, and so on and so on. The more you use, the more confidently and accurately you use them, the better your mark. The consumption of texts by particular audiences is discussed in detail. You have to show the examiner that you know exactly who your magazine is trying to appeal to, and you have to be able to say why. It's no good just making an assertion. It must be based in evidence. Responses are cogent and well structured. That means that they are clear, that they flow well, and that they use PEE paragraphs. And remember, you can only get those 9 or 10 marks if your English is fluent and you use words precisely. Let's start by looking at a couple of different magazine covers. In this edition of Xbox World, a very challenging representation is made of a young, aggressive man. This challenges his target audience, the demographic of teenage boys. Whereas in this edition of Glamour magazine, the cover model is smiling at the audience, cheekily, as if sharing a secret with them, giving them tips, addressing them as an older sister might. Despite the fact that the demographic is a similar age, geography and social class, the image is very different to appeal to a female audience. No longer challenging, but supportive and aspirational. Make a really detailed analysis. Look at the iconography in this image, a spacesuit and a gun. High-tech, aggressive iconography that really appeals to its teenaged male audience. Think about the way that this satisfies their needs for escapism and distraction. They would like to be able to identify with this character, to be able to put themselves in his shoes. The magazine offers them a vicarious pleasure. They can play out their fantasies through the game. While Xbox World uses a computer-generated character, Glamour uses a real person, a celebrity. Teenaged girls can use this person as a role model, an image of beauty to aspire to. But the woman is put on their level, at eye level, and they are encouraged to identify with her and to see her beauty as something that is attainable for them. However, whilst we may see Reese Witherspoon as a real person, the image of her has been very carefully photographed and then digitally edited to conceal any blemishes or imperfections. Young girls are being offered a representation that is unattainable. Analyse every detail of the magazine cover and relate them back to the target audience. And remember, use the technical terminology throughout. This magazine uses dramatic cell lines that appeal to teenaged girls. The idea that snogging nearly killed me would give them a fantastic piece of common cultural currency that they can laugh about and use in different ways, to feel horrified or in a knowing, superior way. The line, "Sweet as 16, Dad blew 100k on my party," offers a fantasy that the audience can use for escapism. Teenage girls' magazines offer a diversion from everyday life, as well as tips, gossip, and ways to make oneself feel good. Analyse every aspect of the front cover. This PlayStation magazine has a fairly simple, consistent house style, which focuses attention on the one big story. Look, however, tries to cram as much as possible onto the cover, offering gossip, fashion advice, exclusives, and the promise of weight loss tips, all in one crowded front page. Whilst the PlayStation magazine uses the twin draws of an idealised, computer-generated girl and a fast car to appeal to its teenaged male needs, Look attempts to target a wider range of needs in its readership. Young to middle-aged urbanite women may use this magazine for escapism into the lives of celebrities, information about fashion, common cultural currency about the exclusives offered, and identification with the real life stories. Remember, this video is not an exhaustive list of all the different concepts, ideas, words and theories that you need to put into your analysis. Make sure that you have covered demographic and psychographic in detail and related them to the way the audience is addressed and positioned. Have you discussed audience needs and gone beyond Maslow's hierarchy? Have you discussed all the uses different audiences might put a magazine to and the gratifications or pleasures they may get from it? Structure your analysis using point, example, evaluation. Be thorough. Use the technical terminology of media studies. Remember what you get marks for.